Welcome! In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this Prostormer 14-piece metric flex head ratcheting wrench set. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So let's get this open. Okay, so here we have the set. These wrenches go from 6mm to 19mm with no skips. They're 72 tooth ratcheting. They're made of chrome vanadium steel, and they have a 180-degree flex head design. So let's pull one of these out. Let's pull the 16 out. So here we can see the wrench. So that flex head will go left or right. And here we have the ratcheting. Now to reverse these, you just flip it over. So we do this for tightening. If we want it to loosen, we turn it over. They're kind of tight in here, but I can just pull this up 90 degrees and it'll give me leverage to pull it right out. So here's the 19mm. And here's the smallest at 6mm. So this has a pretty wide range here, so you could use this for bicycles, automotive, and other tasks. Of course, it comes with this nice blow molded case. Let's get a tape measure out so we can do some measurements. So the 19 is about 9 3/4 inches. I'm not going to do every wrench, but you'll get an idea. This is about 8 1/8 for the 16mm. Let's see, the 13 is about 7 inches. The 10 is about 6 1/4. And we start getting down to the smaller ones. The 8 is about 5 1/2 inches. So these aren't super long wrenches. I'd say they're probably kind of mid-sized. Of course, a lot of people who wrench on the cars and things like that like to have multiple sizes of things. If they're too big, they can be hard to get in places. If they're too small, you can't get leverage. This looks like it's going to be a good size. So I just wanted to get these out on my bench so we could take a close-up look at them. Now I'll find some places where I can demonstrate these. We'll cut to that now. Okay, I'm out here at my car. Let's test this out on a few things. Here we have a battery hold down bolt. I think that's 13mm. Yep. So let's try that on here. Now the best tool for this here, where it's kind of recessed, is a socket. I'm testing this because this may be all you have. If you have this in the back of your car and need to change out a battery, you could do that here. So this is in a weird area, so this is not going down on there, but we can get the wrench in here. I'll loosen it up a couple turns, and then we should be able to use the ratcheting wrench. Let's get that tightened back down. So sometimes the best tool for the job is whatever tool you have with you. So here we have a little bolt. I think that's a 10. Let's try that. Yep, let's try loosening it. That loosened nicely. Since we have that flex head on there, it gives me lots of clearance, so I can have an angle just about like that. It gives me the clearance in there to loosen that up. Of course, I can do the same to tighten it. Now, if you don't have enough friction when you're tightening or loosening, you can just press in on the top here with your finger to give it a little bit extra friction so it's not just spinning back and forth. Here we are at a bicycle. We have the rear nut on this wheel. So to loosen, I want to have the side without the graphic out. So I can put that on there. I can loosen this up. Now when this gets very loose, I can actually pull this all the way up and use that to kind of spin it off. Now to tighten it back down, I'll switch it over to the other side with the graphic. And I'll tighten that up. Now you can see here we have a kickstand, so if this was a straight wrench, that might collide with my hand, but since this kicks out, it gives me lots of clearance. We go over here, we have the kickstand, so if we wanted to take the kickstand off, we could use that here. Now if you wanted to put a socket on there, that could be a little tricky. Flex head ratchet is the ideal tool for doing this. So that's the Prostormer 14-piece metric ratcheting wrench set. I just touched the surface of things you could use these for. But I think a set of wrenches like this is a great thing to add to your tool arsenal. You never know when you're going to be working on a project and you're going to have a nut or bolt that is hard to access. So typically when I'm working on a car, I'll use a combination of sockets and wrenches And while traditional wrenches can be nice for accessing things in hard to reach areas, a ratcheting wrench can really speed up the process so you don't have to take the wrench off and put it back on the fastener and rotate it. This you can just put it on there and ratchet away. So these can be a huge time saver. Now this is a pretty compact set, so this could be good to throw in the back of a car, work truck, or an RV. As I was showing the battery hold down, this may not be the best tool for that, but if it's the tool you have, it's the one you'll use. And I really like that this is a no-skip set from 6 up to 19, so you could use this on, say, a small bicycle part up to an automotive application and everything in between. Now these aren't super long, so they don't have a tremendous amount of leverage, but for most of these sizes I think you have plenty of leverage to loosen things up. And you could always take a traditional combination wrench with more leverage and break something free and then put this on there to work the whole fastener off, which I do that all the time with things. I'll switch between tools, and that's the whole point of having the variety of tools, so you can use the best tool for the job. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.